Hey guys, hi, Anthony Nitz here. Hey, I'm going to tell you why you should have sold your house 3 weeks ago, but don't worry, it's not altogether too late. Hey guys, so I've been doing this for over 25, well, almost 25 years, and I'm always kind of watching, paying attention, seeing what's going on in the real estate marketplace, and so I want to share some stuff with you that I think is really, really, really important. Things that you should know about, whether you take action on it, whether you do anything about it, whether it really affects you or not, I don't know. I can't say. But I'm going to share with you this information. And I actually got a series of videos I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks where I'm going to be talking a lot about the different things that are impacting what I see as far as coming down the road with real estate. And the first thing is a friend of mine, Brian Stevens, he's in mortgage, and he was kind of sharing some notes and things like that. Maybe kind of dive in a little bit deeper. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, good, valid points that he made, and I think it's like I said, something that you guys need to see here. So this, I'm looking at my notes here from this report from the year-end, year-end earnings report from the leadership over at Fannie Mae. And so if you don't know who Fannie Mae is, they're like a guarantor of loans and things like that. And they're a government sponsored entity, government, whatever. But they're a government sponsored entity, and they basically tell let the banks provide these loans. They guarantee that the loans are good. If the loans don't perform, then they essentially buy them back. It's a whole lot more technical, but they buy it back, and but they're the big influencer, right? And they are the big kids on the block. Let's talk about numbers. They control trillions with a T, trillions of dollars of loans. Okay, residential loans, so not commercial and all that other stuff. And so what they're saying right off the bat is that they're saying that right now 11% of the people cannot make their payment today and are expected to get foreclosed on. That's what they're saying. So to put this in perspective, walk down your street and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And every 10th house is what they're saying is going to be, they're expecting to be foreclosed on right now. Okay, but what they're forecasting, you'll see here in a little bit, is a little bit more potentially grim. Celeste Brown, Executive VP and CFO at Fannie Mae, says that there's a risk of loans remaining in forbearance for an extended period of time that it may decrease the likelihood of a successful outcome. So what she's saying essentially is that if somebody is in a forbearance, the longer you're in forbearance, the less likely you are to get out of that forbearance, and you're going to find yourself in a foreclosure situation. And I'm not saying you, but I'm saying it just in general. They know the stats. Guys, they control trillions of dollars of loans. They've been doing this for, I don't know, a century or something. I don't know how long they've been around, 50, 60, something like that. And so they know what those numbers are. They know what it looks like when people do forbearances. The longer they have them, the less likely that they are to complete it. So if you got a forbearance for 6 months, odds are way better in your favor that you are going to be able to continue and complete or continue with that loan, and you'll work your way out of it. However, there's some people, they got like these 18-month forbearances. You get to 18 months, it's probably not likely you're suddenly going to be able to start making that 19-month payment when the forbearances are lifted. Okay? And yes, look, I understand that there's currently moratoriums on foreclosures as well as evictions and things like that. But guys, you got to understand, at some point in time, those things are going to go away. They are going to go away. Okay, because housing in itself is an economy all to its own, and without housing money, then it really seriously affects the rest of the economy. Okay, so they will go away. She said if a single family loan does not resolve and that remains non-performing for a long period of time or enters the flex modification zone, then they are required to purchase it out of trust. What does that mean? Foreclosure. That's exactly what that means. It goes into foreclosure. They buy it back from the bank. Okay, and pay attention to this though. While purchases, when they say purchases, the loans that they had to purchase back as foreclosures in 2020, $5.4 billion that they had to purchase back. They were non-performing loans, so they had to purchase them back from the bank. $5.4 billion. That's not a little number. That is a significant number. And she goes on to say, we anticipate that this can grow significantly in 2021. And listen to this, at year end, $108 billion of single family underperforming bonds were in forbearance. Okay, so they're saying $108 billion worth of forbearance. Now, keep in mind, we're only talking about Fannie Mae. We're not even talking about Freddie Mac, who is like their, I guess, brother. I don't know. They're basically the same thing, running on the same tracks. Okay, so you could probably expect these numbers to double, maybe. I don't know. So $108 billion, we're going to go, 5.4 billion, potential 108 billion. Okay. So, in 2020, we had our $2.5 trillion relief, right? Yet we still had $5.4 billion in mortgages that had to be purchased back by them. And on top of that, they're already saying that the $108 billion in single family bonds in forbearance were including 81 billion that were 90 days or more delinquent. Okay, so now the way that when I looked at it, I read it as 81 billion was part of the 108 billion that they have in forbearance. And so good call on the people that were 90 days delinquent. They were 90 days delinquent. They got their forbearance. It's part of the 108 because I hope to God I'm not wrong, and it's 81 billion on top of the 108 billion that are in forbearance. But regardless, they were 90 days delinquent before they went into forbearance. So if they're already 90 days delinquent before they go into forbearance, what's the likelihood that the forbearance is going to come to end and they are going to be able to perform on their loan? What is that likelihood? It sure doesn't sound good, and I don't know of a lot of people who are really upsizing their jobs and income over the last year. I really don't. So that is something to think about, and that is a stunning number if you look at it like that. It's like, but in the end of the day, it's like, your crystal ball. Do you have a crystal ball? I don't have a crystal ball. I've been praying for a crystal ball for my entire real estate career. But I haven't found it yet. But to use the words of my friend Brian Stevens, it says, if there is a canary in the coal mine, this is it. This is it. This is the canary in the coal mine. She goes on to say, we currently estimate that approximately 30% of loans in forbearance eventually need to be repurchased or foreclosed. 30%. What's 30% of 108 billion? Or worst case scenario, 30% of 108 billion plus 81 billion. I don't know, I wasn't clear how to interpret that. So that's a lot. That is a lot of loans that are going to go into foreclosure. And so if you read between the lines of what the CFO is saying from Fannie Mae, it means that there's going to be a lot of inventory in 2021. Okay, we're already halfway through February, but a lot of people are saying that the milestone marker or whatever is April 1st. I don't know if that's for sure, because there's still a lot of moratoriums. There's people who are extending their eviction moratoriums and even foreclosure moratoriums and things like that. But how long can it go? How long can it really go? Okay. Now, it can't. Excuse me. Sorry. It can't just go on endless, because there are people who have mortgages that have to be paid. Banks will end up foreclosing, or else they just go out of business too. Okay. And to give you some perspective, here's some perspective on what's happening in the real estate marketplace right now, because everybody's under the impression, oh, real estate market is hot. It's hot. We list a property and yeah, it sells fast. It sells really fast. We're getting multiple offers on properties. In Orange County, there's roughly 650,000 residential properties. 650,000. Yet in January, only 2,249 of them sold through the multiple listing service. Now, is that high or low, Anthony? No, that's low. That is crazy low. Okay. Over the years, I've heard different economists and financial analysts and things like that say that in what might be deemed a normal real estate market, I've never seen one, that the properties, real estate should be selling at 10% of the entire available properties. 10% of it should be up for sale at any given time, right? So there's a constant 10% turnover, right? Well, we haven't had that for, I'm going to say, decades. I haven't seen that 10%. Okay. And over the last couple of years, we've been trending about 3,500 to 3,800 per month selling as far as homes go. But 2,249, holy smokes. So yeah, so it's no surprise that when you put a property on the market right now, it sells fast. It sells really fast. And, and people are making money. But a couple of factors. Number one, yes, all this that we're just talking about right now. Also, interest rates. Interest rates have started to climb. I don't know if you noticed that, if you're watching that, but interest rates have actually started to climb. My friend, who is a loan officer, he told me just the other day. He goes, I haven't seen this in a long time. The bank put a freeze on locking any loans for the day. And what that means is that the rates have suddenly become so unstable on that day, because rates are changing. I mean, minute by minute, but banks, they always know that they're kind of floating within a little, margin. But when rates start to become unstable and they're going too high or too low, then the bank could say, whoa, we're not locking any loans till we know where this is going to land. And they almost always do that when the rates are going up. Not so much when the rates are going down, but when the rates are going up, they go, whoa. We don't want to lock in a loan at 2.5%. If tomorrow the rates are going to be 3 or 3.25%, right? And so they went up. And if they continue to go up, it's going to take out a whole segment of the buyer pool, which means less buyers to buy the inventory that is available. And then, if what they're saying is true, is that they're expecting all these foreclosures, if April is kind of that milestone, that time frame, then yeah, you're going to see people doing panic selling. Oh my gosh, we got to sell. No, you got to sell now. You're going to see people doing short sales. Eventually, there's going to come around. I mean, most people, I think, have a lot of equity right now. But if you see this and you wait, and we start going down the slippery slope already, and it's too late, well, then maybe it's a short sale if you need to sell, or it's going to be a foreclosure. It's going to be an outright foreclosure. Okay, and so I'm telling you this. I'm sharing this information with you because I want you to think about making, a good decision. Look, if you had no plans on selling, don't sell. Don't go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to be here for a long, long time. But if you were kind of on the fence, you're thinking, man, should we sell? I don't know. Let's wait a little bit longer. Let's wait till summer because that's the hot market. Well, guess what? Might already be over by then. And let me give you another little snippet of perspective here. So if you remember the last big market run up on housing, and then the big crash was started in about 2000. About 2000, prices really started to steadily increase. Now, granted, That wasn't because of tied to a pandemic. Okay, nobody's ever dealt with a pandemic before, but still kind of, the same effect in a sense. So the rates go up. I mean not the rates. The values of the properties go up, and they go up and up and up and up, and people start flooding the market. Buyers going, I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it. But also there was crazy loans that were available they should have never got, which I never sold those. I never let my buyers get those things if I could avoid it. But they would, the rates would go up. So the values would go up, and it took 6.5 to 7 years to reach the peak. Right? So like people would say, oh my gosh, the market just blew up overnight. No, it didn't. It took 7 years. Okay. But when we reached the peak and it started to go down, it took a year and a half to get back to the pre-2000 prices. Okay. So things go down a whole lot faster than they go up. Okay. Buyer confidence will drop. They'll pull out of the market. So not only do you have your buyer pool suddenly shrink because they're confident, they're like, oh well, no, market's going down. We're gonna wait till it hits the bottom. Rates go up, so fewer buyers can afford the houses that they're looking at purchasing, and then inventory is up, more competition. So all these things start piling up on each other, right? Well, okay, great, Anthony, that's all fine and well. But what else is there that could impact the market? Well, you think about all these people who, we had the multi-trillion-dollar relief packages that were, sent out to everybody. And I know you guys got your stimulus money and things like that, which, it was nice, but it didn't do much for people, especially when it came to housing. So, you look at that and you go, well, how many businesses, and I don't know what the numbers are in Orange County as far as how many businesses have gone out of business, but all you got to do is drive around a shopping center or a strip mall or an industrial park, and you just look and you go, available, 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 available. And you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Why is that? There's so many of them available. Where are those people that were working there, that were running those businesses? They're out of business. And do you think that they just shut the door and said, I'm going to go over to my warehouse full of gold coins and $100 bills and roll around in the pile of money like Scrooge McDuck? No. A lot of those businesses spent every last penny that they had keeping them running and keeping them open and trying to keep their employees paid so that they can get through this thing as well. But they shut down. And the people that supplied them with parts or materials or services were also affected. Then they shut down. The people that supplied the raw materials to the place that made the parts, or the outsourced, services that were supplied, those guys are affected. So one of those available signs can potentially affect hundreds of people. And these are the people who have forbearances, who have, or who potentially down the road are facing these foreclosure issues. And so my message to you, why I'm telling you this is my opinion. I'm telling you my opinion. Make your own. You can go download the end of year report from Fannie Mae yourself. Read it yourself. But if you make a decision, make your own decision. Okay, don't go based off of this. I'm just sharing you what they've already told me. And again, that's the writing on the wall, from my opinion. I've been doing this for almost 25 years. But if you do that, I think now is kind of that time. We're right about at that precipice where we're going, okay, now's the time to hit the parachute and bail, if that's what you were going to do. Okay. Let's see. What else? Yeah, I don't know if I said it already, but these numbers don't even include Freddie Mac. Okay, Freddie Mac is basically the brother to Fannie Mae. So the numbers are going to be even bigger than what Fannie Mae is saying for themselves. Fannie Mae believes that the $5.4 billion of non-performing unfixable loans, aka foreclosures, can and are going to turn into $30 billion, which is 6 times higher than the current rate. Current rate, $5.4 billion in 2020. They're talking about $30 billion. Okay. Pretty clear. There's currently $108 billion in loans that are in forbearance right now, and that non-performing numbers could be significantly higher once forbearances come to an end. Okay, we talked about that. So, yeah, folks, I just want to share this information with you. And I got more videos I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. So I want you to see this. And the reason why, let me tell you why I'm doing this. So, look, this is what I do. I sell real estate. It's what I do. I sell real estate. Okay, great, fine. And I am going to tell you, if you're thinking about selling, give me a call. We only charge a 1% listing fee, but call anybody. Call you do whatever you're going to do. But I'm just telling you that this is an option. We only charge a 1% listing fee. Buyer's fee is separate, but still save you a whole lot of money. The last house we just sold, the people sold $28,000 off of commissions that they would have paid otherwise to another agent. I think that helped. Yeah, I know that helped. Okay, so that's out of the way. But also, one thing that I know is about real estate, foreclosures and short sales are devastating to a community. They really are. They're just devastating to a community, and we don't want to see that. We don't want to have that here in our little county that we live in. And so, if you have the opportunity to grab that equity that you have now, and maybe you rent for a while. Maybe you go to, if you're planning on moving out of state, well, maybe now's the time. Okay? Do whatever you're going to do. You take that money, you go, you do it. Okay? So, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and keep an eye out for the other videos that we're going to be doing, because I got some other thoughts on some of these articles and things that I'm seeing, and how they really, really, really are going to affect the real estate market coming up here really soon. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want, put a comment down there, likes, thumbs, subscribes, all, whatever. Do all that stuff. You guys know what to do. All right, we'll talk to you later. Take care.